to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ondo State Governor, Iheanacho.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Belly Squatter and thanks for joining us today. Now the news making the rounds, the federal government urges resident doctors to call off strike. Kenya denies reports of deaths from COVID vaccination. Myanmar's UK envoy says military attaché has occupied embassy. CBN freezes 11 bank accounts. And on sports, Mbappe hits double as PSG wins thriller. Stay with us as the details of this news come after the short timeout. Welcome back. Now the news in full. Federal government urges resident doctors to call off strike. Dr. Sagir Iheanacho, Minister of Health, has appealed to the resident doctors to call off their strike in the interest of patients that need care at this critical time. Iheanacho made a call at a media briefing in Abuja to commemorate World Health Day, celebrated every year on April 7th, sponsored by the World Health Organization and other related organizations. Iheanacho, who delivered his speech via Zoom from Ondo State, this period was not a good time for such activities for the doctors that began a strike last Thursday. And the aggrieved doctors' agitations include the non-payment of salaries of 3 to 5 months in some house offices and non-recruitment of house officers. In others, abolishment of the bench fee for doctors undergoing training in other hospitals, non-payment of national minimum wage and hazard allowances. And the minister, however, said the house officers had started receiving their outstanding entitlements. And according to him, 2021 is the International Year for Health and Care Workers in recognition of selfless roles in their played and continue to play the support to the health system. And moving forward in another development, Canadian varsity to set up College of Medicine in Oshun. A Canadian varsity, the All Saints University School of Medicine Dominica, has pledged to collaborate with Prince Segun Agboleru, who has been nominated by the Agboleru ruling house for the stool of Ikirun land to establish a Canadian University School of Medicine in the ancient town of Ikirun in Osun State. And the Vice Chancellor of the All Saints University of Medicine in Dominica, Dr. Joshua Yusuf, who is also a prominent indigene of Ikirun, indicated the interest of the university management and board to support Prince Agboleru in taking the ancient town to a world-class city status. He indicated interest to open a new University of Medicine in Ikirun while receiving Prince Agboleru in his office in Toronto, Canada, the headquarters of the Canadian University recently. And Prince Agboleru, a North American-based entrepreneur and business mogul, was recently nominated by the Agboleru ruling house of Ikirun to ascend the stool of the ancient town following the demise of Oba Adewale Adedeji of Adedeji ruling house earlier this year. And receiving Prince Agboleru, the Vice Chancellor, in the company of the university top management staff, expressed delight at the news of his hometown getting set for a world-class entrepreneur to occupy the traditional stool of Ikirun. And present at the reception were the president of Nigerians Canadian Association, the NCA, the umbrella body of all Nigerians in Canada, and Mrs. Kemi Amason, and the executive director of the Nigerian Canadian Professional Group, Michael Abayomi Olayade. And moving forward now, Ondo Varsity Union begins indefinite strike over unpaid salaries and orders. Labor unions at the Olusegun Agugu University of Science and Technology of Okitipupa in Ondo State on Wednesday embarked on an indefinite strike over unpaid salaries and other issues. And this was contained in a statement signed by Mr. Temidayo Temola, the chairman of the Joint Action Congress in Okitipupa. It was reported that the unions include the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union, and National Association of Academic Technologists. The registrar of the institution, Mr. Ganiyu Saliu, while reacting, said that the management was aware of the strike, attributing the inability of the government to meet the union's demand to the shortfall in the government's subventions, which could no longer be managed to meet its obligations. And he also said that another factor included the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic, which shut down the system with adverse effects on the economy. And on the news coming from around Africa, Somali president accused of failing election talks. Somali's semi-autonomous states of Puntland and Jubaland have issued a joint statement accusing President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo of failing to ensure the success of the crucial consultative talks held in Mogadishu to find a solution to the election impasse. And Puntland Information Minister Abdullahi Hisi Timade, however, said that they are not aware of the failed conference. And earlier, Somali Information Minister Osman Abubakar Dube also accused the leaders of two regional states of causing the talks to collapse. And on April 6th, the international community called on Somali leaders to compromise and allow elections to take place in the country as the holy month of Ramadan approaches. And now, still from around Africa, Kenya denies reports of deaths from COVID-19 vaccinations. Kenya's drug authority has denied that a Kenyan has died from taking the AstraZeneca vaccine. The Pharmacy and Poisons Board Deputy Director, Dr. Peter Ikamati, said the death of the Kenyan health worker who had taken the vaccine may have been caused by a miscarriage. The deceased was a nurse working in one of the hospitals in Uasin Gishu in western Kenya. And the World Health Organization recommends that expectant women should receive the vaccine only if the benefits of vaccination outweighs the potential risks, such as if they are health workers at high risk of exposure or have conditions that place them in high-risk groups for severe COVID-19. And the ministry said it has also not recorded any rare case of blood clot as is being reported in some European countries. And data from the board shows that 279 people have had adverse effects after taking the vaccines, and 7 are experiencing severe symptoms, and more than 300,000 people have received their first doses of the vaccine in the country. We're going to short break right now. When we come back, we get news updates from the United Kingdom. Stay with us.
there's a man to pray,
there is a God to answer. Early morning prayer to make your day.
say, my father, my father.
A moment of healing and warfare.
If there's a man to pray,
Wonders without number with Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
The Lord told me from April 3rd to April 12th, the Lord said I should not go anywhere. What we are doing is 5 to 6 a.m. 1 hour. You are not coming to church, we are doing it online. 5 to 6 a.m. 1 hour prayers, pulling down altars. The Bible says in Job 9:10 that it does wonders without numbers. So we are going to be having wonders without numbers. 5 to 6 a.m. online, all over the world. Our focus is to pull down altars, to charter kingdoms, connect to us. We want to trouble hell.
Date 3rd through 12th April 2021 by 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. daily. Live on Celebration TV.
open your mouth and begin to pray. If there's a man to pray,
Your prayers shall be answered.
Welcome back, and now coming from the United Kingdom, aid funding for Oxfam halted over new sexual exploitation claims. The UK has suspended aid funding for Oxfam again after fresh allegations of sexual exploitation and bullying were made against staff. 2 Oxfam workers in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, were suspended last week following the latest claims, and the charity had also been allowed to start reapplying for AIDS funds in March. It had served a 3-year ban after a cover-up of sexual exploitation by staff in Haiti came to light in 2018. And the Foreign and Development Office said Oxfam will not be able to make any applications for UK aid money until the new allegations were resolved. And all organizations bidding for the UK aid must meet the high standards of safeguarding required to keep the people they work with safe, a spokesman said. And the recent reports call into question the Oxfam's ability to meet those standards, he added. And Oxfam said its suspensions of the 2 members of staff showed their commitment to tackle abuses of power. And now moving forward to Myanmar, Myanmar's UK envoy says military attaché has occupied embassy. Myanmar's ambassador in London has spent the night in his car after saying he was locked out of his embassy. And Kyo Zwa Min said staff were asked to leave the building by Myanmar's military attaché on Wednesday night, and he was told he was no longer the country's representative. British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has condemned the bullying actions. Kyo Zwa Min has called for outside leaders Aung San Suu Kyi to be released. And more than 500 people, including dozens of children, have been killed so far as pro-democracy protests demands a return to power of elected leader Ms. San Suu Kyi and her National League for Democracy party. And the ambassador was pictured standing on the streets outside the embassy in London's Mayfair speaking to officers from the Metropolitan Police Force. Police were reportedly called to stop staff entering the building, and protesters gathered outside the embassy after news that the ambassador had been locked out emerged. And Deputy Ambassador Chit Win is said to have taken over as charge d'affaires in London. And right now on business news, CBN freezes 11 bank accounts. The Central Bank of Nigeria on Wednesday said it got an order from the Federal High Court in Abuja Division to freeze 11 bank accounts to enable it to conduct investigations into suspicious activities. And a motion ex parte, which was dated March 12 and filed on March 16, sought the mandatory order of the court to direct First City Monument Bank Limited to freeze all transactions on account and all other bank accounts of the defendants for a period of 180 days, pending the outcome of investigations and inquiry currently being conducted by the CBN. And according to the document, the investigation was connected to a female who is an assistant manager of the CBN Central Business District, Oluwatoyosi Oladipo. In another document signed by the presiding judge, A.R. Mohammed, the court empowered the CBN to direct FCMB to freeze all transactions on the bank account for a period of 45 days only, pending the outcome of the investigation. And he added that the order was renewable on expiration, but only a good reason shown. And now, still on the business news, NIMASA NRC by ELSA to revive rail foundry. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, and the Bayelsa State Government are set to resuscitate the railway foundry. This was disclosed when the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, in company with the MD of the NRC, Fidet Okiria, and some other senior executives of both organizations, inspected the Nigerian Railway Foundry located within the NRC complex in Ebute Metta in Lagos. And the NIMASA Director General, in a statement, said provisions had to be made where wrecks will be kept away and recycled. And Jamo indicated that the foundry will create several jobs with spare parts of shipbuilding and ship repairs, thereby saving foreign exchange for the country. He noted that not only wrecks will be recycled at the foundry, but other damaged iron-based components and metals such as scrapped cars and machinery. We're going to another short break right now. When we come back, we get news from the world of sports. Stay with us.
A revival fire sweeping across, invading the souls of men. Never have we seen it in this manner. The manifest presence made real.
You were born 7:15 a.m. on Sunday, August 22, 1982.
Generational impact with Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
Glory be to the Lamb of God. I'm coming to Abia State. I'm coming to the city of Aba. We're going to be having 3 meetings. The first day is going to be in the evening by 4 p.m. The second day is going to be in the morning by 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Be my guest as we enjoy grace, open heavens, mighty, mind-blowing manifestations of the power of God. There will be miracles, there will be deliverances, there will be restoration, and above all, there will be salvation and emancipation of souls. Be my guest as I come to Aba for Impact 2021. God bless you.
Date 14th and 15th of April 2021. Venue Aba Polytechnic Field, Abia State. Time Wednesday 4 p.m. and Thursday 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. GMT+1. For inquiries, call.
Welcome back. Now on sports news, Mbappe hits double as PSG win thriller. Kylian Mbappe scored twice as Paris Saint-Germain produced a superb away performance to beat title holders Bayern Munich in a thrilling Champions League quarterfinals first leg. This was a meeting between the last year's finalists, and they both contributed in a highly entertaining game that in itself would have been worthy of being the finals of the competition. Mbappe took just 3 minutes to make his mark as he was fed by Neymar, and the striker thumped a drive through Manuel Neuer's legs. Marquinhos doubled the lead for the French champions midway through the first half with a neat finish from a great ball by Neymar before ex-PSG striker Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting headed home to halve the deficit. And Neuer made amends for his earlier mistake by denying Neymar from point-blank range early in the second half before Keylor Navas kept out strikes from David Alaba and Benjamin Pavard at the other end. But Bayern Munich kept up the pressure and deservedly leveled on the hour mark when Thomas Müller guided a header into the back of the net from Joshua Kimmich's free kick. And however, Mbappe had the final say as he swept a low strike through Jerome Boateng's leg late on to give PSG a third crucial away goal heading into the second leg. And in another sports news, Iheanacho nominated for PFA Fans Player Award. Leicester City striker Kelechi Iheanacho has been nominated for the PFA Fans Player of the Month award for March. And following a superb strike during a 1-1 draw at Burnley, the Nigerian international added another of his tally in a 2-1 win at Brighton and Hove Albion, and before netting the first Foxes hat-trick in the 5-0 success over Sheffield United at King Power Stadium. And Iheanacho then made it 7 goals in 4 games in all competition with a brace in a 3-1 victory over Manchester United, which secured Leicester's place in the semi-finals of the FA Cup for the first time since 1982. And the 24-year-old forward is nominated alongside Luke Shaw of Manchester United, Alexandre Lacazette of Arsenal, Jesse Lingard of West Ham, Harry Kane of Tottenham, and Riyad Mahrez of Manchester City. And the Nigerian international last week won the Premier League Player of the Month award for March. And that's the size of the news for us today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Federal government urges resident doctors to call off strike. Kenya denies reports of deaths from COVID-19 vaccination. Myanmar's UK envoy says military attaché has occupied embassy. CBN freezes 11 bank accounts. And on sports, Mbappe hits double as PSG wins thriller. And today on our photo of the day, we can see this photo on the screen which shows people with headlocks and a person with a head open, the lock open with a book in his hand. And we see that books and doors are alike. And we ask why? Because you open them and you go through into another world. You can share with us your thoughts too on the photo of the day today on our social media platforms. Remember, on Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it is at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it is Celebration TV. Don't forget that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in or the organization you work in defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either have a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So, be a part of nation building today. Thanks for watching the news today on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter. Have a wonderful day.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ondo State Governor, Iheanacho.